Good day. Well, I thought I'd pop outside while I've got a moment of sunshine to come to you from a beautiful spring day out here in the Pacific Northwest. So to build upon a little bit, I briefly came to some of you via video after a little bit of a hiatus of just energy restoration collection. I was going through a phase where I needed to really hunker down and be thoughtful about my energy distribution. And so for some of you, I came to you last week from Baltimore when I was joining our veterinary colleagues again in person, back-to-back conferences. And the point that I brought up was the power of community and how, quite truthfully, I also felt a little out of practice and how energizing and depleting it was all at the same time. So I wanted to build upon that just a little bit today about community and the power of it and the necessity of it. And here we are in a phase of our lives moving into spring. It is May of 2022. And this is also the month of mental health awareness. And I think it's a very good time for us to just visit what it is to be human, number one. Number two, how do we best take care of our mental health? Not just month of May, but always. And what are some things that we might lean into that we are maybe a little out of practice with? So number one is that we were designed as humans as this operating system, regardless of where we are in the world, regardless of how much of an introvert or extrovert you are, regardless of how individualistic and independent you may be. We find a lot of strength, of comfort, and creative wisdom in being in community. There is a Sanskrit word that is akasha, and it's really referring to a collective presence and memory among human beings. And I've brought up before that it's true that when we come into physiological presence with one another, it's really not well understood, but it's been proven, there's lots of research behind it, that we have a syncing of our heartbeats, of our breathing, and of our brain waves. Can't fake that. So although we have done a great job of utilizing our virtual spaces over these last 2.5 years, there's some real power and energy coming back into the presence of fellow humans, as uncomfortable and awkward as it may be. So with that, I think that there's also Mark Nepo, who is an author, teacher, and poet, writes that there is, I love his words, the exquisite risk to be real, to be authentic with what is, and to do that with a deep and sincere compassion for ourselves and for one another as we practice this. We absolutely can find ourselves then leaning into the space of being perhaps more than we knew that we were, that we give ourselves credit for, and also forever being the student, being open to the learning and the wisdom of the others around us. So it's certainly, having been at those conferences back to back, that was the case, where I was given the opportunity to be both teacher and student the entire time. And I've just honestly, I've forgotten how rich that space was, but I was also really authentic about how I was there to learn as much as I was to share wisdom. There's really an epidemic of loneliness that we know was present prior to the pandemic. And having gone through what we have been going through as a worldwide society over the course of these last several years, there may be a real tendency, a feeling of safety that comes from isolation. But that also can beget then a genuine feeling of disconnect and of loneliness that doesn't serve us. Each of us has to do this in our individual way, of finding those spaces of authentic connection, taking that exquisite risk of being yourself, of being real, and inviting the other to do the same. Those are honest, vulnerable conversations that mean so much. And also, I love this quote as well from Rumi. Stay together, friends. Don't scatter and sleep. Our friendship is made of being awake. Don't scatter and sleep. Wake up. Reconnect. There's work to do for ourselves and for the complex problems that face us in our individual lives and in our global communities. Find your way towards community that nourishes you, that serves the greater purpose of sharing energy, of sharing space for creative thinking and strategizing that can help us feel reconnected with purpose, engaged with our lives, and also leaning into then our healthiest versions of ourselves, because that's how we were designed to be, was to be in community. So it's a call to action. All right, so my homework for you is to consider, where are those community spaces for you currently? Where are they? And if you know that you want more of that, where might you find them? How can you create them? Where can you maybe seek them so that you can fortify yourself? And by bringing your energy to it, you fortify that community. So let's go ahead and take the exquisite risk of being real and wake up and connect. So with that, I wish you a really amazing week. I hope that there is some great connection in your life and things that nourish you, revitalize you, and inspire you. We'll see each other soon. Bye.